Welcome to Skull-JP.Gaming. Today we will check out the we will view the tutorials and how the game is played.
Day of Infamy is an objective-based immersive shooter, where teamwork is essential. From capturing objectives, regrouping with friendlies to reinforce, defending areas, and destroying vital equipment, you must work as a team to win the match. Respawns in Day of Infamy occur in reinforcement waves. At the beginning of each match, you will start with a set amount of reinforcements, depending on the game mode. This is represented by the wave number at the bottom of your screen. When you die, a timer will appear at the bottom center of your screen, notifying when the next reinforcement wave will occur. Once the timer reaches 0, you and any other dead teammates will respawn as a group. When your team runs out of waves, reinforcements will be exhausted and your team will no longer have any respawns. To reinforce your team, capture, regroup, or complete objectives.
Watch my back! I'm point captured!
Day of Infamy is a tactical first-person shooter that uses minimalist design elements to heighten immersion. As you play Day of Infamy, you might notice that standard on-screen elements of typical shooters have been removed or made less obtrusive. There are no weapon crosshairs in Day of Infamy. Players will need to rely on their weapon sights to accurately hit their targets. Kill confirmation messages have also been disabled by default to allow for a more hardcore experience. Players must visually confirm their kills to ensure that their target is down. By default, there is no kill feed, but if a server decides to enable it, it will display at the top right corner of your screen. Ammo counts are hidden unless a reload action or weapon switch occurs, in which case the amount of magazines or rounds remaining will be displayed at the bottom right corner of your screen. There is no display to indicate the number of rounds remaining in your weapon, so be sure to count your shots. Day of Infamy is a first-person shooter that combines lethality and fluid gunplay to create a hardcore experience. In Day of Infamy, you may fire from the hip or from the shoulder. Note that when firing from the hip, recoil is harder to control than when firing from the shoulder. To raise the weapon from hip to shoulder, use the right mouse button. This action will bring the sights of the weapon to the center of the screen to allow for more accurate shots and more manageable recoil. Day of Infamy uses a system called free aim when firing from the hip. This allows the weapon to be moved independently from the player view. Your weapon is not locked to the center of your screen. Weapons in Day of Infamy are highly lethal. A single shot to the head or chest will kill most enemies. Don't forget to keep track of your ammunition as it is not displayed on screen. Aim carefully and count your shots. Day of Infamy is a first-person shooter with a wide range of weapon functionality. Bipods are equipped to heavy machine guns and are easily deployable to substantially reduce recoil. By default, your bipod will automatically deploy when prone and aiming down sights. However, you can manually place your bipod on cover by clicking the middle mouse button. After the few seconds deploy your bipod, your weapon will benefit from lower recoil. To retract the bipod, simply press the middle mouse button again or move away from the cover on which you are currently deployed. Bayonets can be fixed to certain weapons to be utilized in close quarters. Once your bayonet is attached, click the middle mouse button to thrust your weapon forward. Bayonets are highly lethal and deal more damage if charged or attacking from the rear. If you don't have a bayonet, most weapons will still allow you to perform a melee bash. This attack deals less damage, but is a good last resort. One of the most iconic weapons in Day of Infamy is the flamethrower. Hold the left mouse button to watch your fuel count drain as you incinerate enemies in close range. In Day of Infamy, you can also throw back explosives of any kind, from frag grenades, smoke grenades, and TNT. Pressing the F key while looking at an explosive will pick it up. Releasing the F key will throw it in the direction you are facing. Be aware and pay attention. Carrying a radio is an essential part of the teamwork that Day of Infamy requires. The radio system allows for artillery, airstrikes, and other support options to be called. An officer requests support via his radio menu. However, a radio must be within his proximity for the request to be completed. Voice chat carries through a radio, allowing anyone near radios to communicate with each other. When an objective is contested, lost, captured, or destroyed, radio men will alert their teammates.
HQ reports our guys to securing Baker.
Radio men have the additional perk of being able to capture objectives faster than other classes. If you're a radio man, be sure to follow your officer.
I gotta reload.
Day of Infamy is an objective-based immersive shooter.
Okay, that's it. Check out the other videos on my channel. Please hit like and share and subscribe for more videos.